Hello everyone. Today's video is a very serious video. We need to go back to work. I know there's a lot of people that think that we're risking lives by going back to work. I understand the coronavirus is very dangerous. This is a very serious issue. But the fact of the matter is a lot of people are risking their lives, their jobs, by not going back to work. Especially whenever people are left alone, people are kept in isolation. If they don't have many people to talk to, they begin to get very depressed. A lot of people go stir crazy. I guarantee you the suicide rate is going to increase if we don't go back to work or don't continue things at least semi-usual. Now, a big problem that we have too is with businesses and jobs. People aren't able to afford their rent. People aren't able to afford groceries or food for people that they care about. People aren't able to afford their bills, like their phone bills or their electric bills. Because a lot of people don't plan in advance. A lot of people didn't even see this coming. Now, a lot of people are saying that we should hand out money or that the government should step in, and that is a horrible idea too. Now, let's just start with the fact that businesses need to make money too. I mean, they're just people like everyone else. If you have your own apartment complex, you're going to need rent from all of the residents. You need to be able to make money. Now, it's true that they're not very likely to, for a couple of months, kick people out, but if you're a business owner, you're not making any money from people because of the virus, you need residents who are going to be able to pay you. Now, the government might step in and say that it's not going to be allowed, but you might run out of business, especially if you're a smaller complex. Or for instance, if you own the house and you're just renting it out as a landlord. I've had friends that do this too. I mean, they would be affected by that too if they had someone in their house that's not able to pay rent. It's a very serious deal. And another person that's majorly affected is small businesses. Now, there's lots of different small businesses. Some of them are a little bit more important, but right now everyone's going to Walmart or Dillon's or places like that to get their groceries. A lot of the smaller businesses, including, the fun places that you like to go, small comic book shops, mom and pop shops, they're not going to be able to sustain months without making any money. A lot of times they don't make very much money and they're not able to employ or pay their employees very well as it is. And as far as the whole socialist aspect that we should hand people free money or move further into this idea of universal basic income, universal basic income has been something that has been debunked for a while. It's a horrible idea to just give people free money a month, especially for doing nothing. You're rewarding them for not working, and it's understandable during this time, people are a little bit more scared and they think, we need to help people out. But we can't help people out if we don't have people producing. The businesses can't produce things if they don't have workers, if there's no jobs. What we have to do is we have to send people back to work. People need to be able to make money. And if people are getting free money from the government, that money comes from the businesses. They're going to have to take that money out of the businesses and give it to citizens. And whenever they do that, that's less money for the businesses. That's less money for them to produce, to create. And eventually, if this continues, which I think it's going to continue, I think that the coronavirus is going to become a permanent situation, at least for a while, until we can figure out some sort of way to deal with it medically. Then people won't be able to sustain themselves. Eventually the economy is going to crash. There will be an economic crash if we don't send people back to work. And if you'll notice, a lot of the people who are acting like the people that want to go back to work, people like me, small workers, we don't make very much money, but the people who act like we're getting butthurt or we're making a big deal out of nothing, not having a job is a big deal. It is very serious to us. These are the same people who decide that they want welfare, that they want free things from government, and that's just not a possibility. It's not ethically a possibility, and long term, it is not a healthy possibility. What we need to do is we need to send people back to work with masks. We could send them back with gloves too, hand sanitizer, have them wash their hands periodically. But people need to go back to work. Now I know in times like this the government likes to grab for power. They like imposing rules and using, a state of emergency per se to enforce laws to gain control over the populace. This is another major fear. If the government can do this now for a month or two, they can do this for as long as they want. They can implement ideas like universal basic income permanently. As I've stated beforehand, this is a horrible idea, and I will go into this in another video, but universal basic income is essentially communism. I know it's not exactly the same as communism, it's a form of socialism, but socialism leads the way into communism. This is historically true, and it has always historically been the case, that socialism is a gateway to communism, and socialism is unhealthy for any country. Socialism is simply another word for government control over its populace. That being said, let's get our workers back to work, okay?